So welcome to another episode of the Vestal Golden Bear video podcast. I'm your host, Clifford Casson, Deputy Superintendent here at Vestal Central School District. And today is May 31st, 2022, when we're recording this. And this is episode number 14. It's really exciting. The purpose of this podcast is to let everyone know what a great school district we have. And we all know that Vestal is an exceptional school district, comprised of fantastic and exceptional students, our school community. But what really makes it work is the people that are employed here. And we have exceptional employees, and we always want to reach out to them and get them on the show so all of you at home can see who works here and they can tell their stories. So we're really excited to have Susie Nunez, who works at Tioga Hills as a teacher, and really great to have her here on the show. And she's a fantastic teacher here for a long time. And so great to have you here and honor you.
Thanks. Great to be here.
Oh, fantastic. So with this, Susie, talk to us about your early life.
My early life.
Yeah. Before you became an adult.
Okay. Well, I grew up in Illinois.
Oh, did you?
In the Midwest.
Yeah, that's
and
great.
I moved to Texas.
Oh, really?
And had two of my children were born in Texas.
In Texas.
And then I ended up here.
Whereabouts in Texas?
So, a suburb of Dallas, Plano, Texas.
Really?
Yes, it's really grown. It used to be just cotton fields, and now it's just tons of houses.
So I just got to jump in there. I used to, Dallas Cowboys fan for a lot of years growing up, and I've been to Dallas twice to watch some games. Sit in the stadium, the old stadium, and then the new stadium.
Yes, I've been to the old stadium. In fact, we got to take our kids into the stadium.
Did you really?
When my oldest, Philip, was only 2, and he got to kick the football off the 50-yard line. And we took pictures in Troy Aikman's locker room.
No way.
So it was about that time that we were in Dallas.
Number 8, Troy Aikman, right?
Yeah, so we saw some good games.
That's awesome.
And some great Super Bowl parties.
Yeah, I bet. I never knew that about you. That's so cool.
Yeah. Right. So I got my undergraduate degree in Illinois, teaching hearing impaired students.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And I went to college that was in the same town as Illinois School for the Deaf. I lived at Illinois School for the Deaf and got my room and board for free, and I had to work there. And then took my classes at the college. And then I ended up at Northern Illinois University teaching hearing impaired students. And that's when I got my master's degree in literacy.
I see. Wow, that's really cool. Now, is that Northern Illinois? That's out near Chicago somewhere?
It's a suburb of Chicago. It's DeKalb, Illinois.
Right. Okay.
It's kind of far from Chicago.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I grew up in a very small town. There were no stoplights, totally cornfields, totally flat.
Oh, that's
neat. I had never seen the ocean until I was in my mid-20s. I never saw a mountain.
It is flat out there.
Yes.
Yeah, definitely.
Yes.
Oh, that's cool. And so then you were in Illinois, Texas, back to Illinois.
Well, back to New York.
And then to New York.
Right.
Yeah. So how'd you get to New York? What was
just jobs and moving around, and so in New York was more like home because of the weather. Yeah. Where in Texas you're putting up Christmas lights and shorts.
That's true.
And although it's awesome, I never quite got used to it. So I really do love the 4 seasons here.
I do also. It's great.
It's, like Christmas would sneak up on you in Texas. It'd be like, Christmas, it's warm out. Warm. And, I never got used to that.
That's cool. I know. I love the 4 seasons here. I mean, I wouldn't want to live anyplace else. I really do like it up here in the Northeast. Yeah, that's great.
Well, I've been here a long time now. My youngest daughter was born here, and she's...
Okay.
Oops. She's like 25. I don't watch this, daughter. Anyways, I've been here 25 years now.
Yeah.
And
that's neat.
And I still think of Illinois as home, but I've been here longer. So
right. Oh, that's great. All right. So when you came to Vestal, I know you. I have to tell you, I know you have Tioga Hills. My children went to Tioga Hills, and you had 2 of my children.
Yes, I taught 2 of them.
They rave about you. When you think, when they talk about teachers, it's always Mrs. Nunez, and I do have to tell a quick story. I know you used to have like a gerbil or a hamster, and one of my daughters, Sarah, she was take it home for one of the breaks or whatever. I don't know if you know this story. Maybe you do. And she was playing with it and it bit her hand or whatever. And I think she still has like a little battle scar. She's always like, that's Mrs. Nunez gerbil, whatever the name of the gerbil was. It was so funny. To this day, she'll still talk about it. She's just, how old is Sarah? She's 22 years old.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. I always had animals in my classroom.
Yep.
And sometimes I had a lot. Like a hermit crab and a hamster and guinea pigs. And now I'm just down to a guinea pig.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
And I've learned that the students would look in their social studies book in the biography section, and they'd have to name the animal after someone famous. So we've had Wilbur and Orville.
Oh, yeah,
and
of
we've
course.
had Clara for Claire Barton. And Amelia Earhart. We had Amelia.
That's awesome.
And Marie after Marie Curie.
Oh, yeah. That's great.
Those are the ones I remember.
Yeah. And it gives students responsibility because they take care of the classroom pet, right?
One of their jobs, they have responsibilities every day in the classroom. Well, there's so many responsibilities and they take turns. And one of them was to be the zookeeper, feed and take care of the pet.
Zookeeper.
And then
That's
they took care, they would take it home for the weekend.
Yeah.
And it was kind of cool because those parents who didn't have pets and really didn't want one got their child got to take care of the pet over the weekend.
Yeah. That's fantastic. Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah. Hey, I just got to also say, it is really warm in our studio. Hey, we got in here and Sue's like, you know what? It is so hot. We need some water. So like, hey, we can get some water and we're using our Golden Bear Video Podcast mugs. So cheers.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
First time we use them on the air. Oh, it is refreshing. Right?
Yes, it is.
It is warm.
Yeah.
So,
So, well, when my kids were growing up, I did some tutoring.
Okay.
You know, because I stayed home, so I did some tutoring, and I did story times at local bookstores.
Oh, you did.
And we'd go to the library. We'd go to the library for story times, and I'd bring my students, and I was always like, I'm gonna do that.
Yeah.
And so I dressed up, and I would do story times at the children's bookstore, and my costume would match the type of books that I was reading. So I dressed up as a Dalmatian one time, and as a clown one time, and as a American Indian.
Oh, yeah.
And anyway.
So talk about the engagement piece. That's awesome for students. Yeah. Because the learning has to go along. You have to make learning fun for kids, right? And I know you do that every day,
one of my
all
goals.
the time.
One of my goals.
Yeah, they want to come to school. They know that they're respected, taken care of well, and they're going to learn something, but they're also going to have fun learning.
I hope so.
Yeah.
And another goal is that I instill this love of learning so they become lifelong learners.
Yeah.
So, yes.
And I didn't realize you had a literacy degree. So that's so important with elementary teachers because, building that foundation of literacy, that really, I've been mainly secondary, but when students come in with that, which Vestal does a great job building that foundation, boy, then they just take off to prepare for the secondary courses, So, yeah, it's really important. You guys do a great job. Yeah, definitely.
I hope so.
Yeah, 100%. So, let's see. You brought some props with you also,
well,
right?
we were talking about love of learning and lifelong learners. And so I just have some things in my classroom. And so I have this that none of the students even know what it is.
Right.
And they do ask me if it works, even though I cut the, because they never saw a phone that was plugged in.
With the rotary.
So,
My
right. So we have to teach them how to give their finger a little ride. And they love it. And they pretend to talk on it. And we have a little science area where I put that. And
that's great.
I'm always trying to find new things for the students. And this is a little snake that it is just a long line.
Look at that.
And they know how to put that into a circle much quicker than I do. So during, mornings or if they have any free time or we do have a quiet time, they explore this and teach each other. And these are just a couple things that I keep revolving into the classroom that keeps their interest. And
it really does.
Really learn. And the way they can teach each other, and some of the students that are shy are able to teach each other how to do really cool things.
Yeah.
And
what I like about that's patterns also. You think about mathematics, it's a lot of patterns.
Right.
And if you can look at that, you solve that puzzle with the patterns, that's great learning.
And again, some students that find numbers and number sense difficult are excel at something like that.
Yeah.
So that's
more
kind
that
of cool.
analytical piece. Yeah.
So I try to do, I do that all the time. I just brought a couple.
Right. All right. So through the years, what grades have you taught? Different grade levels?
Yes. I started my career in kindergarten.
Did you?
And then I went to deferred entry, which Vestal doesn't have anymore. The universal pre-K kind of took over deferred entry.
I see.
It was students that were not quite ready for kindergarten yet.
Yeah.
And it was a half-day program.
Okay.
And then I went to third grade, and I've been there third grade, second grade, third grade for probably the last 18 years.
Yeah. Oh, that's fantastic. That's cool. Yeah. And it's all been at Tioga Hills, right?
Yes.
Yeah. It's a nice community school.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And what's great about, I really like Vestal, we have 5 community schools for elementary. And it is awesome. They're all unique, but they're all very similar. We teach the same curriculum, same professional development. The teachers, I know your colleagues, probably second, third grade colleagues you've dealt with across the district, share ideas and whatnot. It is really awesome, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I love the professional development here. Keeps you on your toes, keeps you creative, keeps you in the know, new things that are going on. Yeah. It's never the same. No. It's always something exciting, something new.
Yeah, building on the old and keep that continuous improvement and not forgetting what you learned before.
It's not
just
like
enhancing.
You throw out everything, but it's always tweaking and developing. And
all that's very intentional and with a lot of teacher support and input, which is great. Yeah, that's fantastic. So as we're thinking about, what makes Vestal great and how do you contribute? When you look at Vestal, I will always say, hey, Vestal is so awesome, it's great, best in the area. And then I always take that and extend it, best in New York State, Yeah, you have to, right? I really, really believe in Vestal. And, there's always continuous improvement and everything. We want to continue growing, but we know we do a great job with our students. And so what's your take on that? And what do you...
Well, one of the great things are the people.
Yeah.
The people I've worked with have always been so supportive, divide and conquer if we need to do things or buy things or make things and the ideas that you can play off each other just helps you to grow. So I have worked with some great colleagues in my grade level and outside of my grade level. Have just keep you so interested. Yeah. And I love the professional development opportunities.
I know, right?
So the people, the families, students, and the teachers and all the staff are just great. It's really, so helpful and keep me energized.
Yeah. Now, I believe you've kind of been a mentor also for other new teachers, correct?
Yes. Yeah. I went through that. They do have a little mentor program where you learn, how to be a mentor. Yes.
Right. So you've helped mentor new teachers coming in.
Right. They try to match you up with your grade level. So it's just been a couple. Yeah. But so that's been fun.
So all your experience and you can help younger staff coming in. Yeah, that's fantastic. Right. Yeah.
And that was a growth for me too. And how can I help them and what can I say? And it's...
you're right, because you see them do something, okay, you got to watch, okay, but then when do you interject or when do you not?
Exactly.
When do you kind of say, look, maybe you should try it a little bit different? And
And the same thing with students. When do you interject? When do you say, why don't you try that again? Or, I try to get them not to say, I can't do this, but what am I not thinking about? How can I look at this differently? Yeah. And they're still... learning.
But to promote the struggle, I guess that's a lot, right?
Exactly.
But if you're struggling a little bit and then you start working on it, that is okay. And it's great because then when you fully get it, it's like, wow, it really sinks in.
Yeah. I think especially now after, COVID and people being home, they want the answers right away. And it's okay to struggle. Well, not only is it okay to struggle, but it makes your brain grow.
It does.
It's a muscle. Yeah. So, we talk about
problem solving. How do you problem solve and how do you get to the solution?
Right.
You don't just need to be immediate.
Exactly.
You work through it. Yeah. That's great. Now, I'm looking over the corner. You have something else there you didn't share yet. What is that? Something that you want to talk about?
I have a little box that I save all notes from former students.
Look at that. That's so awesome.
So it's kind of a cool little box. And so I just have a bunch of notes that students send me and I save them. And
that's awesome.
They're there when you are feeling down.
That's right.
You have one of those days, I gave a student a little McDonald's gift card. And he says, thanks for the McDonald's card. I'll spend it on a large fry.
Oh, there you go.
So anyway, they're just fun. And what's really cool is when they get back to me when they're an adult.
Yeah.
And although, I haven't been teaching that long. Right. No, I'm kidding. There's, and that's really cool to have them remember you and say thank you.
Yeah. Isn't that great? It's so awesome.
So,
yeah. And we do have awesome students that go through our school district. Yeah. It's fantastic. That's very nice. There's
obviously it's full and I keep packing them down and I don't save everything because that would be much bigger. Anyway.
I have something similar from my teaching days I kept, and I know if just even coaching, like, because I coached different sports and you had pictures of the team and a record and things like that. And it's like, it is really, when you look back, it's really touching, isn't it?
Well, not only did I teach 2 of your children, but 4 of my children, my 4 children graduated from Vestal.
From Vestal. Oh, that's fantastic. Yeah. So, isn't that great?
Yeah, absolutely. And they, one of them was really into sports and, another one wasn't, and a couple artists.
I know. That's what I always say. We have something for everyone, right?
We really do.
Yeah. That's great. And I'll say that all the time. Our district, some people think it's a big district, but it's not too big and it's not too small because we offer a whole array of different avenues for students, whether it's music, the arts, athletics, the science, and the maths, and the English.
Even all the creativity with Odyssey of the Mind.
Right, exactly, right? Yeah, it is. It's fantastic. There's great district. And thank you so much for contributing to the greatness. And I know you work so hard every day.
Appreciate that.
Really you do. And you're well respected here. And that's why we wanted to make sure we got you on this show.
Oh, that was very nice.
Definitely.
I'm honored. Completely.
Yeah. So at this point, we get to do rapid fire. Are you ready?
I'm very nervous. Nervous.
So we have a record to beat. Dylan, what is it, like 41 seconds? 41 seconds. We don't have to beat that record, but that's someone who is kind of competitive that really wanted to get the record.
Oh, for goodness
So it's 41 seconds. And what do we have, 10 questions?
10 questions.
10 questions.
Oh, man, now you put that in my head.
41.43 seconds.
Oh, okay. 41 point.
You've got a little bit of wiggle room.
A little bit there.
Okay.
So I'll try to read fast, but sometimes, I don't have a literacy degree, so I don't. All right. You ready?
Maybe I should read them to you.
I know, right? You should. Okay. Here we go. Money or free time?
Money.
Amusement park or day at the beach?
Day at the beach.
You're at the movies. Candy or popcorn?
Popcorn.
Okay. Online shopping or shopping in a store?
Online.
Netflix or YouTube?
YouTube.
Okay. Phone call or a text?
Phone call.
Okay. Apple or Android?
I thought you were going to eat Apple. Okay, Apple.
I know. The Office or Parks and Rec? Those are TV shows.
Oh, yes. Parks and Rec.
Okay. Hamburger or a taco?
Taco.
Spotify or Apple Music?
Spotify.
That's it?
36.7.
Oh, wow. Good job. You beat the record. Yeah, that's
now
awesome.
I really just want free time and not money. I felt
there
that.
You go. I know, right? It's hard to
that was like money.
Right. No. Okay. You can go back and change it. That's fine.
Well, money can buy you free time.
That's true. Yes, it could.
Anyway.
Yes. So, okay, at this point in our show, we want to give you a highly coveted Vestal Golden Bear Pen. That's just for you.
Thank you so
yes.
much.
Thank you for being on the show.
Oh, thank you.
Yes. And we always conclude our shows with the Vestal Golden Bear, right? Stay golden.
I'm ready. Stay golden.
So we concluded the show, and Sue and I were talking, and we're looking at the teleprompter, and Sue's like, hey, you forgot to ask what's the most interesting thing I've done in my career. I'm like, oh, yes, we did forget that. So we're adding this on somewhere. All right. So here we are. So Sue, or Susie, sorry. What is the most interesting thing you've done in your career?
Well, for my professional career here at Vestal, I had the outstanding opportunity to go take some classes at Columbia University Teachers College in New York City. Yeah. And I was actually able to go more than one time. And to hear from the people that wrote the books that you're teaching from to meet them and get to know them and to be with other colleagues. And you spend days practicing and even doing little mini workshops or mini conferences with each other to practice. And being in New York City, it was just an amazing career
That's
opportunity.
awesome. Yeah.
And talk about uplifting and coming back
Right.
energized. And it was one of the most exciting things.
And that's the Calkins units of reading
the
and
units of
writing.
study. Written
Right.
by-
Okay.
yeah.
Right. That's awesome. And that's a great program we have here for
Yes,
us, especially
exactly.
someone who's literacy focused.
Right.
Yeah.
We
yeah.
use the units of study here in reading and writing.
And how do the students
Teachers
respond to that?
College.
Is it
It's a lot about growth and introducing and being
Right.
excited, and students are writing a lot more than they used to when I started.
That's great.
They're not so afraid to
Yeah.
write, and
How fantastic.
they
Yeah.
want to be authors.
Right.
So I see that a lot, and the different genres of books that I introduce them to, and it's very exciting. We're starting a mystery unit, and
that's cool.
and we do a little mystery
Yeah.
where the custodian comes and takes the guinea pig, and then we leave little clues, and I
Right.
don't tell them, and
Yeah.
I have to wait to see when they notice that the guinea pig's not
Gotcha.
in the cage,
Yeah.
and then we start our mystery by teaching words like suspect and
Oh,
clues and motive, and
Right.
anyway, and those are all in the units.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Well, they didn't tell me to hide the guinea pig in the
Yeah,
unit, but they
okay,
tell
but you
you
got to
that.
be a little creative.
Right.
That's cool. That's awesome. So that's really well professional development. That
Absolutely.
Okay. Yeah.
In-house professional development, and then being able to go there
Go
was
there.
just
Yeah.
amazing.
And I remember there were some like busloads of people we went
Oh
down.
yeah, there's a
correct? Yeah.
free Saturday.
Yeah.
Where
There we
they Vestal, bussed us down
Yeah,
for the Saturday,
right.
which again was a whole day just full of people.
From all over the country, really,
all
right?
over the country.
Yeah.
You actually had to have workshops in the chapel, right
Really?
there. Like
Yeah.
there's Teachers College, there's a chapel, and then there's
Yeah.
this big, huge church. And the
That's fantastic.
workshops were
All
all
over.
places because there were so many people there.
Oh, that's a really cool. What a great experience.
It was awesome.
Yeah. Fantastic.
Thank you.
Thanks for sharing.
Thank you.
Yes.